There is a wood that outlasts concrete. Fence posts buried in 1850 still stand today, solid and sound. Modern pressure-treated lumber rots in 15 years. This wood remains perfect for a century without chemicals, without treatment, without maintenance. And it fertilizes the soil as it grows. For 300 years, it built America. Then we erased it. Not because it failed, because it succeeded too well. A material that lasts forever cannot be sold every decade. A tree that heals dead soil threatens the fertilizer industry. Wood that needs no poison cannot generate chemical profits. This is the story of Black Locust, the rot-proof timber that built an empire and was buried to protect a market. The archive opens in Jamestown, Virginia. The year is 1607. English colonists scramble to build shelter before winter. They sink 4 poles into the ground, one at each corner, and frame walls between them. The wood they choose will determine whether they survive. In 1707, exactly 100 years later, naturalist Mark Catesby visits the ruins. He finds something impossible. Those original poles, both above and below ground, remain perfectly sound. No rot, no decay, no damage from a century of rain, soil, and insects. He writes that the posts look as if they were sunk yesterday. The wood was black locust. Cherokee and Iroquois carved bows from it because nothing else matched its strength. They used it for tool handles that lasted generations. They called it the wood that refuses to die. By 1812, Black Locust decided a war. American shipbuilders faced the British Navy, the most powerful fleet on Earth. British warships used oak pins to hold their planks together. American ships used treenails, wooden pegs harder than nails that swelled when wet, creating bonds tighter than metal. When cannonballs struck, British ships shattered. Oak failed. Planks separated. American ships held firm. The British lost battle after battle until they figured it out. By 1820, Philadelphia exported 50,000 to 100,000 black locust nails to England every year. The British rebuilt their navy with American wood. Black locust has a janka hardness of 1,700 pounds force, harder than white oak at 1,360. It has a crushing strength of 10,200 pounds per square inch, comparable to concrete. It contains rhobanin, a natural compound that kills fungi and insects without chemicals. Tests by the U.S. Forest Service proved black locust takes 100 years to rot, even when buried in soil. Fence posts set in the 1920s remain solid. Telegraph poles from the 1870s still stand in the West, 150 years later. The Ford Island Bridge in Hawaii, built in the 1910s, used black locust pilings. After a century in salt water, the most corrosive environment on Earth, those pilings are still in use. At the Biltmore Estate in North Carolina, a black locust pergola over 100 years old still stands. Harvard Forest in Massachusetts has fence posts installed a century ago that remain intact. But black locust does more than last. It heals. It is one of the few nitrogen-fixing hardwoods. Rhizobium bacteria colonize its roots, pull nitrogen from the air, and convert it into ammonia that enriches the soil. Studies show black locust soil has 1.3 to 3.2 times more nitrogen than surrounding areas. It fixes 75 to 150 kilograms of nitrogen per hectare per year, fertilizing neighboring plants without synthetic inputs. When ranchers cleared millions of acres of black locust for cattle in the late 1800s, the soil cracked within 20 years. Rivers dried, grass died, cattle starved. The tree they called a weed had been holding the ecosystem together. By the 1970s, ecologists reclassified black locust as a keystone species, essential for soil stability and land reclamation. NASA researchers called it a lesson in endurance, with roots reaching 200 feet deep, tapping water no annual crop could touch. So if this wood is stronger than oak, lasts longer than treated lumber, and heals dead soil, why does almost no one use it? The answer begins in 1933. Indian chemist Sonti Kamesam invents chromatid copper arsenate, CCA, a mixture of chromium, copper, and arsenic that makes cheap pine last longer. By the 1940s, CCA-treated lumber dominates the American market. Lumberyards sell soft pine at high markups, call it pressure-treated, and guarantee 20 to 30 years of durability. Black Locust requires no treatment. It lasts 100 years naturally, but natural durability creates a problem. Customers who buy Black Locust fence posts in 1950 do not need replacements until 2050, 3 generations without repeat sales. Pressure-treated pine rots in 15 to 20 years, generating new sales every generation. The math is simple. Planned obsolescence beats permanence. By the 1990s, studies revealed CCA leached arsenic into soil and water. Children playing on CCA-treated playgrounds had arsenic levels high enough to increase cancer risk. In November 2003, the Environmental Protection Agency found that children in warm climates who played on treated decks had a 1 in 100,000 risk of cancer. The threshold of concern is 1 in 1 million. On December 31, 2003, CCA was banned for residential use. The industry shifted to alkaline copper quaternary and copper azole. The chemicals changed, but the model did not. Treated lumber still rotted faster than Black Locust. It still leached copper into gardens and soil. It still required customers to buy replacements every 15 to 20 years. But Black Locust faces another enemy. It refuses to fit industrial systems. The trees grow crooked as they compete for light, which creates tension wood that warps when sawn. The locust borer, a native beetle, drills tunnels through trunks. Sawyers accustomed to straight pine find Black Locust difficult to mill. Major lumber distributors refuse to stock it. The supply problem became self-reinforcing. Lumberyards did not stock Black Locust because customers did not ask for it. Customers did not ask because they had never heard of it. Contractors defaulted to pressure-treated pine because it was at every Home Depot and Lowe's. The wood that built America disappeared not because it failed, but because it did not generate recurring revenue. In Hungary, the story is different. Black Locust covers 1 million acres, 20% of forested land. Farmers harvest it for fence posts, firewood, honey production, and export lumber. European architects specify it for decking, bridges, and urban green spaces. In 2013, Brooklyn Botanical Garden used Black Locust decking and won an AIA Design Award. But in the country where the tree is native, the species remains a niche product sold by small mills. Today, pressure-treated lumber is a $9.3 billion board-foot market in the United States. If Black Locust captured just 1%, that would be 93 million board feet, worth $93 million annually. The market is not demand-constrained. It is supply-constrained. People would buy Black Locust if they knew it existed. The system is designed to keep them ignorant. The pattern is familiar. Indigenous materials that enable sovereignty are systematically erased, not because they are inferior, but because they cannot be controlled. Black Locust survived by being unkillable. Cut it down, 10 new shoots emerge from the roots. Burn it, and it regrows. Poison it, Fragments underground wait decades for the chemicals to fade. USDA admitted in 1948 that black locust cannot be eradicated. That resilience is the point. Climate change is accelerating. Droughts, floods, heat. The systems feeding 8 billion people were built for stability. That stability is ending. Black locust was born for chaos. It grows in soil too poor for wheat. It survives cold that kills pine. It produces timber without irrigation or fertilizer. When industrial systems fail, black locust will be ready. Farmers can plant it on marginal land and harvest fence posts in 10 years. Homesteaders can sink posts and forget them for 50 years. Permaculture designers can use it as a nitrogen-fixing nurse tree that enriches orchards. The knowledge is not lost. It is waiting in the wood. We did not lose black locust. We just stopped selling it. You do not need permission to plant a tree. You do not need a lumber yard to recognize quality. The posts your great-grandfather sunk in 1920 are still standing. The knowledge lives in every fence post, solid after a century, in every crooked grove, fixing nitrogen where corn failed. This wood teaches through persistence, through refusal to decay. Strength was always here, growing in the dirt, free. If this vault opened something for you, subscribe to Nature's Lost Vault and hit the bell. Every like and every share preserves what they tried to erase. The next vault opens soon.